Have you ever been just tired and worn out? It's like when you're working so hard, you just need some sense of support, something to lean on, to rest against. If you've ever had to stand for a long time, you find yourself maybe leaning back against something because it's just easier. You don't have to carry the full weight of standing up or the weight on your feet. Are you tired? And what are you tired from? For most of us, the school year has wrapped up, or it's so close you can just taste it. We're heading into the summer. We're into June. Usually that means summer, but how has COVID affected the summer? How have other plans shifted and changed as to what we thought? And even trying to orchestrate that can be tiring. I think sometimes even in our walk as a disciple of Jesus, it becomes tiring because we see what we need to do and what's left undone and what possibilities there could be. And we're just exhausted. The Apostle Paul, probably the most prolific missionary ever, knew what it meant to be exhausted. I mean, he endured so many different things. And there's been times I've wondered, how did the guy do it? Was he just superhuman? But he's human just like you and me. And he had the Holy Spirit just like you and me. And so I find comfort in these words to the church in Corinth. This is from 2 Corinthians chapter 1. Verse 9 says this, "Indeed, we felt that what we had received was the sentence of death." That sounds like he's exhausted. "But that was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God, who raises the dead." That was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God, who raises the dead. Have you just been leaning on your own strength? Have you been relying on yourself and your own willpower and your own ability, your own ingenuity? I know I can. It just gets exhausted. Creativity just fizzles out. Your energy is just drained. You're tapped. And sometimes I just need something to lean against and say, okay, I can't do it, God. And I think what he wants me to hear is say, I can't do it. So it's good, because I want you to lean on me. You need something to lean against. You need someone to rely on. Now this gives you a sense of perspective. I'm not all that big, but he is. His power is greater than mine. His peace is greater than mine. His resilience is greater than mine. His endurance is greater than mine. I'm not much. But yet, how much of my life do I live thinking that I can do it? You can lean on Jesus. He is all sufficient for you. You can lean on the one that God raised from the dead. Listen to this verse one more time. Paul writes, "Indeed, we felt that we received the sentence of death, but that was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God, who raises the dead." Paul was so crushed that he goes, for sure, this is it, I'm going to die. But he still didn't rely on his own ability. He relied on God, who could raise and has raised the dead. What has you tired right now? I'm not going to encourage you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If anything, feel free to collapse and fall back and lean on the one who holds you in the palm of his hand, who has enough power and sufficiency, whose grace is enough for you. Take a couple moments, lean back on him, and just thank God that he's bigger. We'll see you next time.